Well, speaking of, prove it and things will be changing here in a quickly, Shane, we got the Auburn Tigers hitting the road for Texas A&M. My opinion, the game of the week should be College Game Day. SEC Nation is going to be there at least in Kyle Field. We've seen that stadium rocking already this season. And hell, it's rocking every time down there when they got a good team, which they do right now. But the Aggies coming off a bye. Auburn's coming off a big win against Ole Miss at home. And this is looking like I said, man, a big time matchup. And it's kind of like an elimination game here in the SEC West. I know Texas A&M, they need Alabama to lose one more to really factor in there and be first place in the West. But Auburn got all their dreams ahead of them. And I got to tell you, Shane, I'm seeing from all these Auburn fans, they are confident that they're going to go in to College Station and do exactly what Mississippi State did, and that's take down the Texas A&M Aggies. Obviously, it's a little too early to be giving predictions, but anything that in particular you're going to be looking in this matchup here between Texas A&M and Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is these two teams have had these two teams have had some ups and downs at the start of the season, but they're playing their best ball right now. You know, I if you would have told me week one these two teams met, I don't know what the outcome would be. But you could say that now because Auburn is playing the best football they've played all year. Texas A&M, it's like they found some offense. Their defense is finally coming alive. It's really going to be strength on strength when you're looking at Auburn, Texas A&M. What's the spread on this thing? I haven't put my bets in yet.
I believe the Aggies are favored by 5.
Okay, think about that, Mike. Vegas has this a one-score game. So that's just another sign to me that this is going to be a hell of a matchup. So, yeah, you got two programs confident in winning, and that's exactly what we're going to have. We're going to have one really disappointed team, but there's a shot, man. There's a shot. It's a long shot, but there's a shot that one of these teams could win the SEC West. Like you said, this is elimination. I mean, think about this. If Auburn wins this game and then they go out, they play Alabama, it's their tail end of the season and still having an opportunity to get into a college football playoff, because I can't imagine an SEC champ's going to be left out. So, yeah, man, you want to talk about good football. These guys are playing it right now, and that's why I'm so excited to watch these guys play Saturday.
Yeah, and for me, Shane, it's got to be the coaching matchup. Jimbo Fisher going up against Derek Mason. They're Auburn's defensive coordinator. They're going to be going head-to-head in this matchup. And, of course, Bo Nix, he's really hotting up. He's silencing a lot of doubters. You know, I've said it on this show. I think he outperformed Matt Corral last week. And I know Corral was banged up. He was missing some targets, so you got to throw that caveat in there. But, Ed, you told me that Bo Nix outperformed the guy that I think's the Heisman frontrunner, I would have called you damn crazy. You know what I mean? But that's just that's how well Bo Nix is playing, and we got to give credit to Brian Harsin and Mike Bobo for understanding their personnel a lot better, getting better each and every week. And it, you hit it right on the head, Shane. This is a team in the Auburn Tigers that's surging right now. And if the fans are confident, you got to know the players and the coaches are confident. They're looking over there at the Texas A&M team that they probably think they could take advantage of Zach Calzada, going to try to make him beat them through the air. And, man, I cannot wait for this matchup of this. Like I said, this is the number one game far and away in my mind, not only in the SEC, but in the country this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, man. And that's what I love about it is you know exactly what these teams are. There's no more searching for identity. We know exactly what's coming to the table here, and it's just it meshes well. And it's going to come down. It may come down to the final possession, and that's what we love, man. That's why we love college football. This place is going to be electric, Mike. I'm telling you, that stadium may come down because these fans are going to be so pumped up. There's new life in the Texas A&M, there's new life in the Auburn. It was a sleeping giant. These guys, they were down and out last year, and now they're back. They travel well. It's going to be just a fun atmosphere. It's a shame College Game Day missed the boat on this one because I think this is going to be the game of the week.
And I know you love to laugh when I throw out these stats they're basically meaningless, but they're just kind of little trivia. Auburn, Shane, since A&M's joined the SEC, they've never lost in College Station. And we know Kyle Field's a hell of a home field advantage, so the Aggies will be looking to break that streak this weekend.
Old stat. Oh, Mike. You just never know he's going to.
Jimbo, last year you got to go up against Derek Mason and Vanderbilt. What have you seen? What do you remember from his defense and how it's progressed over in Auburn?
I mean, very, very sound, very physical, very diverse, create different coverages, leverages, the way he rushed the passer, the way they attack things. I mean, they created a lot of different problems for you. I mean, it was not a very simple thing to do. Your players had to have a lot of, awareness of where things were and what they did, and they give you a lot of different looks. And Derek, I think, is an outstanding coach.
You touched on Harrison. Any personal connection with him? And then
On who? I'm sorry.
The coach, is it Harsin?
Harsin, yes.
Harsin,
Yes.
Any personal connection? And what about him and Bobo? What have they kind of done different with the offense, do you feel?
No, there's no Brian. I never knew Brian before. He was a very good coach at Boise, knew of him, but didn't have a personal relationship. I think they've done what the players can do. Mike has a great football mind. And Mike was a quarterback himself, played at Georgia, coached against him. I mean, Dad was a coach. He's grown up in it his whole life, and I think he understands how to take care of a quarterback, but also ask the quarterback to do what he does and then expand the roles with the people around him and what he's done. And I think he's developed those guys into a very physical group that gets the ball to their playmakers, controls the line of scrimmage, and puts the quarterback in very advantageous positions to be successful, and then the quarterback does it on his own himself.
What has changed or clicked for Bo Nix since that Georgia State game? And he seemed to not only handle that the way you'd want, but he sustained it ever since.
Yeah, I think like a lot of our guys, I think more players on this team are showing some consistency week to week. And I've said it before, Bo is always prepared well. He works hard, so it's never been that. And I also think it's guys around him too. I mean, at the quarterback position, it's not just you; it's the guys around you. You have to have protection. You got to have, a decent run game that will help you. You got to have wideouts that are going to make plays and can catch the ball. So I don't know if it's so much just one guy as it is multiple players just improving their game and being more consistent weekly. And Bo's going to be a recipient of that, being at the quarterback position. And there's plenty of things for him too. He's still got his deals every week that we work on and focus on, and just like everybody else. But I think the consistency of his preparation, his practice habits, the guys around him, those have all gotten better. And so I think that shows up that, your quarterback's going to look better out there. And the other part with Bo is, he shows up every single week. I think in his preparation too, all the behind the scenes stuff that nobody sees, he's improving on that as well. It's maturity, it's playing the game, it's being in this offense now and kind of figuring out how it really is going to look at times, and that just takes time. But his effort, everything else you want from a player has always been there, and now just as we go through it, guys around him, himself, just getting better at what we're doing.
Hey, Brian, for you as, having called plays throughout your career, just what kind of evolution have you seen from Mike Bobo this season, and how much easier is it for a play caller when you get those first few games to kind of get a feel for the personnel you've got?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Bobo's called plays. He's done this before. This is not his first time. So I think it's important as a new play caller for a team, you got to figure out, what can your guys handle? And that's really, you don't know that till you go out there and play. And so as the season went on, we saw some guys that we probably needed to move positions and put them in a better spot where we could maximize their ability. And then, we probably had some guys in there that didn't need to be in those spots. So, but you don't know that until you play. Who's going to perform on game day, and you see that once you get into the games, and then you kind of know how this guy operates. Because some things that look really good in practice didn't look great in the games. And the guys that look good in practice and then also look good in the games, those are the guys you're trying to make sure that are out there a little bit more. So to me, it was really just figuring that out. You know, who are the guys that prepare? Who are the guys that really take practice serious? Who are the guys that are going to go hard? And who are the guys that are going to be able to perform on game day? You know, that as a play caller, like, you need to know that. That's why having a veteran team as a play caller is always a positive, because you know these guys have been through the fire and you know what to expect. We've never called plays in real games until this year with this group. So, you know, it just takes a minute. And I also think, too, as a play caller, you know, your team evolves as well and other guys get better. And so you also got to constantly be looking on your team who can help. And I think our offensive staff has done a good job of that. That's why we pulled some guys up from scout team. We've moved some guys around so we can get the best 11 on the field and get those guys that are truly preparing and competing in practice and improving in practice and do it the game more opportunities when we go out there and actually play.